Hello everyone. Hi Shanthan. Hi Jyotishko. Hope you all are doing well. So I am Rinky Jha.
So, hi, all the viewers. This is Jyotishko Dash. I am an accountancy honors graduate from South City College.
First one was the aptitude. The second was the HR round, and the third one was the PI. That is the technical round.
They want
Mhm.
to know why EY. There are big four, other big fours as well, right? So, why EY?
Homework is very important, as Rinky mentioned, that before
Yes.
going for your interview, you yourself should be very much prepared of the answer. Like,
With whom you are competing?
haha,
Okay, if you're
ha ha ha.
if you're
Welcome back, guys. First of all, we are extremely sorry that almost after 4 5 months, we are shooting another podcast, another video with two of my very favorite person. Uh, who are from my college, and we have also joined the same organization. Let me first introduce Rinky Jha and Jyotishko Das officially. So, welcome to my channel, Rinky and Jyotishko.
Thank you, Shanthan. Hi everyone.
hi everyone, thank you Shantan for inviting me on your YouTube
Yes,
channel.
it's like an honor. Okay, so firstly, I'll ask both of you. Any one of you can just go ahead to introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
Hello everyone. Hi Shanthan. Hi Jyotishko. Hope you all are doing well. So I am Rinky Jha. I have done my BCom from Calcutta University. Then I pursued my MBA in finance from Institute of Engineering and Management. And currently I am working with Ernst and Young. Like it has been mostly around 8 to 9 months. So from very starting as a finance student, it was like a dream to get into Big 4, right? And now we are working in EY. So it is like we are living our dream. Yeah, so that was a brief introduction about myself.
Okay, that's great to hear from you.
So, hi, all the viewers. This is Jyotishko Dash. I am an accountancy honors graduate from South City College. So after that, I was preparing for civil services for around 2.5 years. So after giving an attempt, after one attempt, I saw that it's a long process. It take 4 to 5 years. After that, I have returned to private sector. I have done few courses like advanced Excel and Tally, and started working in a CA firm. Like I was into taxation, I was into accounting, GST return, and all that. My MBA from IAM, our very own institution.
Hmm.
After that, now I'm into EY. It's been 9 months now. Life's good.
Okay, we'll get back to that EY journey. So, firstly, I will start with Rinky here as like ladies first. Like, what is the entire EY tax analyst selection process, right? I'll be very specific with that term tax analyst because we all are working in the tax domain. So, Rinky, can you just quickly explain that? How was your experience? What were the steps that were followed in the placement?
So talking about the interview process, so there was basically around, I think there was 3 round, right? The first one was the aptitude, the second was the HR round, and the third one was the PI, that is the technical round. So in aptitude, we are having 4 sections: English, mathematics, reasoning, and there was finance questions also. Uh, what happened is in English you have these kind of questions from basically from error correction, fill in the blanks, rearrangement kind of questions. And then when we go to the reasoning, there were, like in my case, there were questions from coding and decoding, puzzles, inequalities. There were questions from slogs also. And in my case, what happened, I was like, there was very few questions from maths. There was question like from finance, like question, basic accounting questions were there, the golden rule and all. And there were high level questions also. Like in our MBA, we have done a project in ratio analysis, so that helped me a lot, because in my finance section, 30 or 40% like was all the questions was from ratio analysis. And that then from the aptitude, once you crack the aptitude, you have to sit for the second round, that is the HR round. And at that time, what happens is, there is a recorded session. Like there is not face to face interview like we generally have, the PI kind of thing. That was not face to face interview. It
Mhm.
was like everything was recorded. They used to ask you questions, and they'll give you around 2 minutes to think about that particular question, and then you answer that. And we have to switch on our recording, and then we'll answer. So there were questions like, tell me about yourself. The most basic question is introduce yourself, and then why EY. In that you have to search the basic information regarding the company and all, how many employees are there, the headquarters and all. And then about your internship, because we all know that when we pursue MBA we have to do like two was to like basic like internship we have to do, the winter and the summer internship. A brief about your internship, what you have learned from that and all sort of things. Then do you want to pursue higher education or not, your career aspiration. Once get through the second round, then the third round, that is the technical round. In this technical round there is a face to face interview, right, with the HR. Like in my case there was questions from the basic accounts and finance. There was questions from US taxation also, because we were doing the ITTC course. So they asked question, very basic questions, very basic, not that high level question, very basic questions from US taxation, some basic questions from Indian taxation also. So there was a question for me, like they asked me, like, depreciation. They asked me basic questions from depreciation, and I was like, yes, I'm very confident about depreciation. So see, she told me that, okay, I'll give you a question and you solve it. She gave me a question. She gave me the price of the land is this and the percentage. She asked me to calculate depreciation on land, and I was like, I took my pen and paper and I was calculating. And then suddenly it struck up my mind that we don't calculate depreciation on land, right? And then I answered her like, oh no, we don't calculate, like that thing
Mm. Like tricky
came into my
questions.
mind very tricky it was it. So yeah.
How long was your interview? Like, what was the duration of your?
I think it was for 30 to 35 minutes.
Coming back to Jyotish, how was your experience throughout?
I think Rinky has covered it very well from the very beginning till end.
Hmm.
So, we had three rounds. The aptitude round comprises of three segments: the English, reasoning, and uh, we had finance
Right.
questions as well. They are math level questions. Then we had HR questions and why EY. Most importantly, they want
Mhm.
to know why EY. There are big four, other big fours as well, right? So why EY? We had technical round. Technical round comprised of very. They asked me very basic questions. They want very basic questions from accounting, very
Mm.
basic questions from taxation, uh, how the adjustments impacts the final accounts and balance sheet,
Okay.
dual effects. Okay, so interview was quite candid.
During the aptitude, where your audio and your video turned on.
In the interview also and during our aptitude exam also,
Mhm.
the video was on throughout.
We can't open like two tabs at a time. You can't open, and if you open you'll instantly get a mail that you're disqualified from the examination.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
That's a great point. Also, since like you guys told about the process, now I would be little more specific. Like we all know that we all are freshers, though we had experiences like prior experiences, but we all are freshers. And if I talk about EY level of interview, somewhere deep down we all were nervous because of the big brand name which is EY, right? So
Yes.
Rinky, I would want to ask you that how did you balanced that while giving your personal interview? An interviewer from EY was right in front of you, and how did you balanced your mind set and the entire interview?
I would say that if anyone asks you any question and you have that knowledge of that particular question, that then you don't get nervous. You get nervous when you don't know anything about that. Like if a topic is given to you and you are like blank, totally blank about the topic, you'll get nervous. You don't
Hmm.
know what to answer. You don't know where to start and where to end. But if something is like if any question is asked and you know everything about that, so you don't get nervous. You can like very easily you can handle that. You
Hmm.
can start in a very manner if you're prepared for that. For example, if they ask you a question like introduce yourself, so we'll just start in a sequence that if we are already prepared for that, that this is my these are my thing, I need to tell my strength, my
Hmm.
weakness, my goal, my plan. So in that case what happened, we you have to practice very much for this
Okay.
to get rid of the nervousness.
Okay, so for viewers, this is a point which you must be writing it down if you're obviously preparing for Big Four. That homework is very important, as Rinky mentioned. That before
Yes.
going for your interview, you yourself should be very much prepared of the answer,
Mhm.
like what answer you would be answering. You should be very much prepared with the answer. Coming to Jyotishko, how did you balance your mindset and the on-spot interview which happened with you in the
For
personal
me,
interview?
I didn't have any preparation, as our
Hmm.
notification for the interview just came the day, and we had our interview just 4 days later. So I was being very honest with them. Rather say that if even if you are unable to answer one or two questions in the interview, that is also okay. Just be honest with them that I
Hmm.
don't know this one. Don't try to be over smart with the
Hmm.
interviewer.
I need to add over here,
Hmm.
Shantan, that as I said, that we have to be like prepared for any question. So it should not be the case that if an interviewer asking you a question and within a second you're starting with the answer,
Hmm.
so that will not look good, right? After the question, just we have to take a like 30-second or 15-second gap so that they will know that they're thinking something. And
Hmm.
then we have to start. We should
Okay.
not like they're asking and just after completing the question we'll start
Hmm.
answering the
That's a
answer.
that's a
That
very
doesn't
very
look good.
good
Yeah.
point. Also, to tackle this situation, I have one very quick idea which came all of a sudden. That if you're unsure that is it the right time to start the answer, to look better in front of that interviewer, just ask, "May I start with my answer?" You can just casually ask that
Mm-hmm,
person that, "May I
Yeah.
answer now?" And if that person gives you a reply back, you can just start. My next question is, how important your CV is for this EY interview.
Well, for me, CV plays a very important role.
Hmm.
Uh, you should make your CV very brief. It should not cross more than 2 pages. It's the first impression that an interviewer gets about you, so it plays a very important role.
Yes, so same here. This CV must be very short and brief, and it should contain all the things in a proper manner. So, for example, if you're giving that you have Excel knowledge, so you should have it like the knowledge of Excel because they can ask you
Hmm.
questions from that particular thing. So if you have any certification, like you have done any course or you have
Hmm.
these sort of things, so you should have that much that knowledge. So if
Hmm.
they ask you any question you can easily
Answer back.
easily answer that. Yeah, don't put any like put extra thing just to make your CV fancy. It should be very very
Right.
like whatever you are actually you're doing, you have done
Hmm.
in that way.
My last question for the day would be, I would be starting with Rinky this time. That Rinky, can you just give some tip and tricks how to crack EY? Because
From my experience, Shantan, I'll say that there are two things that you need to focus on. The
Mhm.
first thing is the aptitude.
Okay.
If like you have to be very good with the aptitude. Suppose you're, for example, I'll say you are an expert in basic accounts and tax and everything
Hmm.
finance, but like you have to prove yourself
Hmm.
once you reach to the interview table, right?
Hmm.
But before that you have to clear the aptitude to reach there,
Right.
because until you don't crack the aptitude, the knowledge is all are waste, like all are
Mm-hmm.
useless. Second thing I'll suggest is be little different, because there are like 100 people those who are giving this interview, and
Hmm.
you have to be different.
To
For
ask
example,
you
I'll
that,
say, huh,
uh, how to be a little different.
yeah,
Like if I am a
I'll
layman, how to
I'll
add
say.
that one extra salt.
Example, they ask you a question like introduce yourself. What we generally do is, we start like, hi, my name is Rinky Jha, and I have done my schooling from here, my college from here, my post graduation from here. I have this certificates and all. So these are the things which are already there in your CV.
Hmm.
They can easily get all the information from your CV.
Hmm.
You have to say something different from your CV,
Okay.
because you're having that opportunity, the 2-minute time, that you can tell anything you want, your experience.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting in that interview, that means you have some potential, that you have come like you're sitting here and giving. So talk about your journey, talk about
Hmm.
different things you have, not that the awards and schooling and college. Be a little different, I'll say. Yeah.
Work on your basics of finance,
Hmm.
core concepts of taxations. So, and be yourself. Everyone is a unique person on their own. So if you be just be yourself, then there's you will be different from others. Okay, with whom you're competing.
Ha ha
Okay, if you're
ha ha ha.
if you're very
But to
big
this,
role,
I just want to add
but
one
I,
very
but
simple
I'm not
thing
yeah,
to this
but I'm
part
not saying
is always enter the room and feel that you're the best. This I've learned from my favorite cricketer, Virat. He always says that he's the best, no matter he's getting out at zero, even if you're entering the room, no matter who is sitting in front of you, just know that you are the best about your competition, whosoever it is. Just you enter the room and you sit and you say, hey bro, listen, I am the best who is sitting in this room, nobody else is better than me. But yeah, again, I mean, overconfidence not be there. But again, if you are just competing with like a healthy competition, because we all were from the same college and we always had same competition, as like I knew that Jyoti, Rinky, they all are my competitions. And I never got scared of Jyoti, or I never got scared of Rinky, because I knew that no matter what, I would be cracking. And I also knew that they would be cracking. I mean,
Yeah.
I
You just
truly
need
knew.
one seat for yourself, right? You don't have to
Yeah.
see that, how many
w-
seats are
w-
there, or you
Yeah.
just have to
But
take
that's
that one
important. Like,
particular
don't be
seat.
overconfident.
Mm.
Always know
Mm.
about, have a knowledge about your competitor. That's a very good tip. Okay. I also wish both
press
of you a very good luck. I really want to wish you guys a very, very, very good luck with your career.
Same to you,
thank you, Shan.
Shantanu.
Also, I really want to thank all the viewers who all are watching the video. I hope and I believe that this video was of great help. If you are preparing for EY, a very best of luck. Of course, I am always available on LinkedIn. I'll be sharing my ID. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask, you guys can directly contact me, Jyotishko, and Rinky. Also, I'll share their LinkedIn IDs. So, thank you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, so that just like us, you guys also work together someday down the line. Thank you so much, guys.